And today for my last Fall Friday soup, I am going to be making vegetable soup. Now in our vegetable soup, I add hamburger. It'll be scrambled hamburger to it, but you could also add roast. Even if you have like leftover roast meat or anything like that, or steak, you could do that, or you could just leave it with no meat in it at all. And it's a really good soup. So if you want to see how I make it, come along. Okay, the ingredients for this soup, you are going to need 4 cloves of garlic, about 3 chopped celery, or 1 1/4 cups. I'm going to do 2 boxes of the chicken broth, or it calls for 4 cans of chicken broth, or you can use vegetable broth, but I use chicken broth in mine. 2 cans of diced tomatoes undrained, 1 1/2 cups of chopped yellow onion, or 1 medium. I have red. I'm going to cut up some, peel and dice some potatoes. Okay. It calls for 3 cups of peeled and diced potatoes. I am actually going to dump in just a bag of mixed vegetables and then another bag of corn. The recipe calls for, you can do fresh carrots, celery, and then your mixed vegetables, or separate. You can do separate green beans, corn, and peas, but I just grabbed a whole bag of them instead of doing it separately. So, and then extra corn. Jason absolutely loves extra corn, so that's what I'm going to put in it. For seasonings, I am going to do a little bit of Lawry's. You need 2 bay leaves. You need a 1/3 cup of chopped, they say fresh parsley, but I just do dried parsley. It's still just as good. Pepper and salt if you want it. I'm not going to add any more salt. I'm just going to just stick with the seasoned salt, but you do pepper to taste, and 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme. And that is the ingredients you need for the soup. Okay, like I had said earlier, I am going to add some scrambled burger to mine. For seasonings, I just did a little bit of pepper, and then I did the Paula Deen house seasoning in the burger just because it has your salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder, I believe, are the seasonings that are in that. You can find that online if you don't want to buy it and you want to make it. It's just real simple things all put together. So that's what I'm doing right now, is scrambling up the burger. Okay, I peeled and chopped my potatoes, and now I'm going to start adding all the ingredients in. Okay, first I'm going to add the broth. Oh, and I better turn on my burner, huh? If we want to get anywhere with this soup. We could just have it crispy, not tender. Mmm, crunchy vegetable soup. Just kidding. Okay, I know this will be a little extra broth than what it calls for, but I really don't think that matters. Most of my stuff I pretty much I don't really go by the recipe unless it's like to measure out the seasonings. And I did not realize that until I started doing YouTube, and I realized that I do not stick to the recipe that much. Okay, so I added the broth. I'm going to add, I better grab a spoon, huh? Going to add the onion, celery. Normally on the recipe, which will be down below, so if you want this, you can grab it. It says to saute like your onions and carrots and celery together in a little bit of oil, but I don't do that. I just pop it all into the soup pot, cook it, and it turns out really good. So, okay, I'm going to add 2 cans of diced tomatoes undrained. I'm going to put in basically 4 cloves of garlic is what it calls for. Like, again, this is a 1/2 teaspoon that I'm using. Okay, I'm going to add in the corn and then the other bag of frozen vegetables. I'm going to add my hamburger. It's all done and drained. Thanks, Jason, for draining the hamburger.
You're welcome.
I hope you could hear him say that. Don't you just love dump and go, you know, pots of soup? You just pretty much dump everything in together and just go. I bet you could do this in the crock pot really easily. Hey, I'm gonna add, I added Lawry's, I'm adding pepper. Stir that in. Hey, you need a half a teaspoon of thyme. Add that in. This is a 1/3 cup of fresh parsley. I do dried, of course. Okay, I'm gonna give this a stir and stir in that parsley and thyme. I actually found this recipe online a few years ago and we have loved it so much. I mean, we make it a lot in the winter, definitely. Okay, and then you're going to add 2 bay leaves. Mine are kind of crumbled. And then you want to make sure you dig those out before you serve it so nobody gets a bay leaf in their bowl. Unless you play like, you know, whoever finds a bay leaf in their bowl, they're the lucky ones or something, you know. I'm just kidding. There's nothing like that. Just trying to cover up mistakes, you know. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Look at the colors. I love it. Yum. Okay, I'm going to turn my burner up a little bit and get this simmering. And I'm going to cover it. Okay, I'm going to cover it and I'm going to let this cook for 20 to 30 minutes until the potatoes are tender. Okay, the soup is bubbling away. It still has a few minutes, but I have to show you. This smells fantastic. Oh my goodness. Oh, this smells so good. You can smell the thyme and stuff in it. Look at that. Yum. Okay, I'm going to let it continue to cook and then I will show it to you when we put it in the bowl. And don't forget the recipe is down below.